This man would make Nosferatu cry his eyes out. What if I told you that Wolverine is not the best role Hugh Jackman has played? I know, before you click off, and I know a lot of you are about to comment, Zaffy, what are you, high? Of course it's the best role he's played. Hear me out. Hugh Jackman has had a lot of great roles. His role in The Prestige, Prisoners. Okay, maybe Wolverine is his best role, but one of my favorite roles that always goes unnoticed is Van Helsing. A man who's similar to Wolverine in terms of aura and charisma, but the lore behind him is so much more interesting. You almost forgot. Before you say, I know my mask is unaligned, it reflects my personality. Van Helsing walked so that Geralt of Rivia could run. The video games were made after the movie, right? Oh, shit. There are books of The Witcher that were made before. All right, scratch that last statement. I didn't know about that. Van Helsing is basically a reincarnated angel known as Gabriel, the right hand of God, who is sent down to do God's work and execute evil, to kill evil supernatural creatures that will want to doom humanity. He's basically like the angelic form of Hellboy. That's what he is. That is what we're dealing with here, folks. You think Nosferatu is going to do anything to this man? No, hell no. You almost forgot. Now, Hugh Jackman plays this role really well. He's not like the Van Helsing from Bram Stoker's Dracula, all right? This dude's an action hero with an accent that I can't even understand where it's from. It's either British at one time and then it's American and then like it's an Australian hybrid. Don't ask me about any of that. Now, this movie, critics are not fond of it. A lot of people think this is trash, right? Now, is this really bad? Is this actually a bad film? Are people too hard on this, or does this movie deserve a lot of the heat that has come its way? Well, let me say this. This film is over the top, yes. Is it campy? Yes. Is it cheesy as hell? Holy shit, it's cheesy. Exposition is 70 to 90% of the dialogue? Yes. Are the serious scenes like bordering on melodramatic half the time? Yes. But you know what? Despite all that, I don't give a solitary rat's fuck. This movie has what most films today, especially the ones that have tried to replicate this IP, mind you, it has what most movies today, the modern Hollywood garbage that we get, it has what it lacks. It has heart. All right? That's what it has. And you know what? This movie's up there with films like The Mummy. Brendan Fraser's The Mummy. Y'all know guilty pleasures that have aged like fine wine. Guilty pleasures that maybe we didn't appreciate them back then, but now we're like, holy crap, this is a breath of fresh air, man. These are just fun stories. Aquaman made $1 billion. Aquaman is as cheesy and poorly written as Van Helsing 2004. It's cheesy as hell. Generic in terms of storytelling. It's DC's highest grossing film, more than The Dark freaking Knight. Why? Something about it. Audiences seem to love it. I was watching Invisible Man. I really love that movie. I love The Invisible Man. But it made me think of Universal's botched attempt at making a shared universe with all these monsters. Yeah, remember that? When they were trying to establish the dark universe with the Mummy, Dracula. They were trying to make the Avengers of horror movie icon monsters. But they failed miserably. They shat the bed with their two first outings. I like Dracula Untold because I'm a vampire fan. But the movie is not that good. The Mummy is not good at all. The Mummy's like, Tom Cruise was trying to make a Mission Impossible film, and the studios wanted him to make a supernatural film, and it melded together in this pot of desensitized shit. And it's clear that they were trying to go off the coattails of Marvel's success as a cinematic universe, you know? Remember, 2012 to like 2019 was Marvel's peak days. That was almost a decade of consistency and money making. And no other studio could replicate that. But let me tell you this, Van Helsing already gave us a Monster Mash, an Avengers film, and it did it much better than Universals could have hoped to years down the road. You don't believe me? It has Frankenstein in it. It has brides, the brides of Dracula, vampires. It has multiple wolfmen. It has even Jekyll and Hyde, Dr. Hyde himself in this film. It has Igor, who might as well be a monster. And of course, Dracula. It has all of them. It doesn't have the mummy and the invisible man or the creature from the Black Lagoon. Yeah, it lacks some things, but it has most of the iconic creatures. Let's talk about Dracula for a second in this film. I can't take this man seriously. Every time he's on screen, I laugh. He's over the top. I think the movie's doing it purposely. Yes, the movie is very melodramatic when it tries to be serious, and it doesn't work at all. It sticks out like a sore thumb. But my God, when this guy's on screen, he's chewing up the scenery. So dramatic and cliched, but there's something else. And his lore is very, very interesting, by the way. All right? He was a prince that got killed by Gabriel, the angel, when Van Helsing's former life. He got killed and made a deal with the devil, a pact with the devil. And his father saw that he had become a vampire because this, so his father decided, okay, I can't kill my own son, but I'm going to pass down the clues on how to defeat my son through my descendants. So Kate Beckinsale and her brother have been passed down this knowledge, and Van Helsing has to help them. So Dracula is like the Thanos of this movie, all right? He has brides, 3 hot-ass brides that he has been fucking for centuries. And they've been having, because they're vampires, they can't have actual babies, so they have aborted, like, dead fetuses that are in egg sacs. It's kind of disgusting, to be honest, when you think about it. Thousands of these have been accumulating over years and years of them fucking each other. I don't even know how it works. So these chicks have been getting pregnant with like dead fetus bat babies, and Dracula wants to reanimate them using the technology that was used to bring Frankenstein to life, so he can create an army of bat babies. Now, his motivations are pure, mind you. See, there's nuance to this Dracula, okay? Dracula, when he's not being all evil and mighty, he's a guy who's lonely, who doesn't feel anything because of how immortal he is and the time that's gone by. He doesn't feel love. So he wants children. He wants to see if he can procreate and create things that are beyond him that he can actually care for. And him and his vampire brides never take more blood than their fair share. They always make sure we're only going to take 2 people every now and then. That's it. But our bat children are going to need to feed, and there are thousands of those. So humanity is pretty much doomed. But Dracula doesn't see this. So Dracula's like, I just need to feed my family. There's nuance. But when there's not nuance, Dracula goes full schizo. Van Helsing, you motherfucker! I will bleed the world. Like this guy becomes a James Bond villain. All right? I love this. He's not my favorite reincarnation of Dracula. Okay? Not even close. I actually like the NBC Dracula TV show's version of Dracula more. I like Bram Stoker's, Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula more. But for this movie, he's the perfect villain. All right? And when he transforms into his true bat form, it's freaking awesome. I'm going to talk about the designs of monsters in this movie. But we don't see Dracula become a hulking monster like this. This is a badass. All right? In the first opening scene, they connect everything together. The Frankenstein, he's alive, classic moment. And Dracula is the guy funding that entire experiment so he can see how Frankenstein's born, so he can use that to replicate his children. It's awesome that they actually were able to connect it all. This is like what the Dark Universe was trying to do. And then Frankenstein has to escape, and he's literally a victim of Dracula in this. The Dark Universe tried to do this, and they failed miserably. They couldn't even get it right with one movie. Van Helsing in this is basically James Bond. Faramir over here gives them gadgets and tells them exposition, and then they go from point A to point B on mission upon mission upon mission. He gets crossbows, like machine guns and shit. Like, it's stupid, but it's cool. Now, another thing that I didn't expect when I was rewatching this film. I'm like, the music is actually pretty good. Fuck, this mask is on the line. Ah, God! The music is actually really good. Better than I expected, especially when people transform into werewolves. The music that's playing in those scenes, the dramatic music, it works. You're not here for the story. There really isn't much of a story. It's mostly just exposition and filler to get us to action scenes. That's what you're here for. You're not here for story. You are here for... Fuck. I've already made a... Oh, God damn it. I've made a video thirsting about this woman in my Underworld video. You can watch that. I'm not going to do that here, all right? We're going to keep it classy, all right? I'll try to get through this. Kate Beckinsale is a very good-looking descendant of that king who had a son. So technically Dracula is part of her family. And she is a badass too. She's a God damn it! Who's creating these fucking signs? Dracula wants her dead. and she's trying to kill Dracula, and her brother turns into a werewolf, and it's Hugh Jackman's a lucky man. I'd let this woman bite me in places that should never be bitten. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. It's incredible to me, by the way, like humanity is devolving. How does this how do women like these have an audience today? Like, are we pathetic? Is humanity depraved? The fact that women like these, pathetic women like this, have an audience is amazing to me. Like, humanity is done. Like, we're devolving. There's no hope for us. The meteor is coming, I'm telling you guys. Kate Beckinsale would run laps around the universe, and she could scam her way to being a billionaire if she wanted today. We need women like Kristen Kruk and Kate Beckinsale back. We can't. What is this? What is reality now? Bro, the society's dead, man. Anyways, Kate Beckinsale and Hugh Jackman, their chemistry is okay for what it is. Like, their scenes are very cheesy and melodramatic, but both the actors are doing the best they can, and the chemistry is okay. You do care about them as a couple. They're not like Rick and Evelyn from The Mummy. Rick and Evelyn from The Mummy are one of the best couples of all time. Fight me on that. You know, if you know, you know. All right? But you're here for the action and the creatures. And they deliver on all fronts there. Yes, a lot of it's like CGI that doesn't date well today, but it's still filmed pretty well. Okay? The designs are fucking awesome. The bride vampires, I think, are iconic. All right? My favorite werewolf designs are in Underworld, with the lichen designs that are all prosthetics. I like that the most. But I always think in all the media I've seen before, Teen Wolf, I don't mind these designs. Okay? I don't mind the design of Wolfman in 2010. But I want, like in Dog Soldiers, where we see a full werewolf-human hybrid. A werewolf standing up, a hulking werewolf. And Van Helsing gave us that. These are Chads! These are alpha wolves, bro. This is how a werewolf should look. Intimidating, jacked as hell, and fast. Powerful. A Chad. These are some epic werewolf designs. I don't care if they use CGI for it. Yeah, you can take away points because they use CGI, but this is badass. And we get to see these creatures go at it. Dracula's vampire design is my favorite besides Marcus and Underworld. Okay? Jacqueline, okay, Hyde looks like shit. Hyde CGI is bad. I don't know what I can say there. That is some of the worst CGI I've ever seen. But you get to see these creatures go at it. When Van Helsing goes into his werewolf form after getting bitten by Kate Beckinsale's brother, and Dracula turns into vampire form, we get to see these guys throw down. It's sick. Goated third act. Say what you want about this movie, but the third act delivers on all fronts, all right? It fulfills the prophecy that Faramir saw. A wolf bite can kill a vampire, all right? Dracula's OP in this. He can't be killed by anything except for the wolf bite. This kind of story would be used in like TV shows like Vampire Diaries, where a werewolf's venom can kill a vampire. I don't know if Vampire Diaries was written before this, but whatever. The books at least. But these two throw down. Dracula gets killed. It's an epic fight scene. It's sick. Van Helsing low-key whoops his ass as a werewolf. And then we get a tragic ending. This movie's got balls that most movies today wouldn't do, bro. The heroine, the female lead, the love interest dies. She tries to inject him with the cure because they need to cure him before the stroke of midnight, and he mauls her in werewolf form. She dies brutally. And it's sad, man. I actually felt it. Okay, listen, the characters in this are not like the best developed, okay? This isn't Oppenheimer. This isn't like, characters are being developed and all this stuff. No, it's not. This movie legitimately has a great ending where they bring her to rest. They bury her, and she goes into heaven. Her soul is at peace now, which is basically what the father wanted. He's like, in exchange for killing my son, you know, I need you to save my children from going to hell or whatever, right? It's a great ending. Her soul rests in peace. So we don't get that perfect tie in a bow ending, right? It's a sad one, but they killed the villain, but they did it. They had to lose someone along the way. Van Helsing, in terms of like going beyond the box, it was ahead of its time. All right? This movie did what the Dark Universe couldn't, and it did it in spades. All right, guys? If you want to know my thoughts on another underrated werewolf vampire franchise with Kate Beckinsale's fine ass, watch my Underworld video here.